Welcome to Demoted.
We are on Demoted.
Wow, we're back. We're back in the chairs.
Back in this bitch.
I'm excited. You've had like way too many energy drinks, so sorry.
I have like
if Ross
a weird
is sweating.
headache that feels possibly like a brain bleed.
Oh, okay.
and I don't know what a brain bleed feels like, and they're very serious.
But if that's what you're having right
but
now.
If I had imagined, yeah, I go right to the worst.
Of course. Or is it potentially the light hangover you might be experiencing from our dinner at Cotogna last night?
I did have two dirty teenies.
You did have two dirty martinis.
I did.
Monday night, we show up. Ross is like, let's take it easy. 2 dirty martinis, nothing else?
Yeah.
Does that sound fine?
And I told the waitress, I was like, if I ask for a third one, cut me off.
Stop.
It's
right
Monday
there.
night.
No.
Like I can't be doing
I was
that.
like, I'm gonna have a glass of wine, and then you and Becca hazed me for some reason because that's not is that not hard enough for you?
Yeah, well you get to dinner and you're like, are we drinking? And I'm like,
well, I whispered to be nice.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna not.
You think
drink.
I'm gonna hang out with you sober?
Yeah, please. I mean, every double date needs to just cut through the tension
immediately. So much tension.
Thank
God.
Like, what are we gonna order?
Oh well, let's start with 10 pastas.
10 pastas. Every pasta.
How does that sound? Every pasta. We started with what pasta do we not want out of the 10?
Yeah,
so we cut one.
Yeah, we cut the one with peas on it.
Yep.
Fuck that.
Gone.
It's seasonal. Yeah, we don't give a shit.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then Ross, what did you do after we had gotten of course, pizza was the final course.
The final course was a nice pizza.
Which I thought was the final course, actually.
I just felt like, these like super fancy Italian restaurants, they give you like 8 noodles.
Totally. We're splitting between the
and
four of
you're
us.
supposed to be, I'm so full. That was $37 and I'm full. No.
One ravioli.
No. Yeah. I wanted.
Was full.
One more pasta dish.
One more pasta dish.
Take us home. Well, then I wanted gelato after that, but it was like...
Well, then we got, of course, gelato. We asked for the dessert menu. Actually, Ross did and got completely chastised.
By the waiter.
He's like, well, normally we like to finish up the savory. Then we'll talk about dessert.
Sir, we actually serve the savory.
Like, I'm like, we've been here for 3 hours. Am I allowed to ask, like, maybe what's next? I kind of want to head home.
I thought the customer was always right. What happened to that?
No, wrong.
No.
You were wrong.
No, and I just about walked out of that parklet.
Completely.
I mean, they knew.
We were in the middle of the street.
We were in the middle of the street.
We made this reservation months ago. Yeah.
We like to tell people we got a 6:30 reservation at Cotogna, but it's outside. We just leave that part out.
We do leave that part out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. I felt a little hated by them. Because the staff, they're like, we're like, all right, is that enough pasta for 4 of us? And they're like, oh, yeah, dog. Yeah.
That's going to be enough.
Unless you're a fat freak.
Maybe the table next to you too.
Yeah.
That's enough. Well,
it wasn't enough.
It wasn't. Matt said it was really hard to be at a dinner with us too, yapping the whole time.
I honestly believe that.
Is that hard for Becca?
I think she's used to it at this point.
Yeah.
Because when we left, we were doing a little debrief down the sidewalk, and I was like, we were both like, that's got to be hard for Matt.
Because us three work together too.
Yeah.
Like, so we have that. I said that to Matt too. It's
yeah.
so funny. He's like, well, I mean, it's just, I don't know when. He goes, also, you're both so quick and I don't know what's happening and I'm trying to keep up. I'm like, well,
you did great.
You did great.
He was doing great. I, for what it's worth, especially since this episode, well, you know what? We'll get into it. Let's drop the music.
All right.
Demoted.
All right, fam. Welcome back to Demoted. What's up to all the Moter-Heads, all the D gang out there tuning in once again?
What is up, D gang?
We're back with an interesting post.
Yeah. Thank you, D gang, for you're now signing your Dear Demoteds from Monica, an Ohio-based Moter-Head.
And honestly, it warms my soul.
You're spelling motor with an E.
Yeah, I mean,
you're commenting an interesting post. I love. You're also leaving rave reviews.
Can
I read one to start us off?
All I saw was it was 5 stars, and now I'm just giddy.
I know we have to print out our reviews because we have only 2 phones and they're recording. So
this one's dense, and we drew straws to have to read who's going to read it.
This is dense.
Because it's hard to read,
and it landed on me, the dyslexic one. Here we go. This is from Sarah Tabita, 5 stars. I look forward to every Tuesday. This podcast is exactly what a corporate millennial needs to laugh, cry, and learn about all of the ridiculous things we go through on a day-to-day basis. I'm literally cackling in the car when I listen to the 2 of you. You definitely bring me back to my software sales days and how ridiculous of a culture it can be, and also love that ultimately it's promoting all of the skills you need to make it and thrive in corporate America. Promoted or Demoted is by far my favorite segment, and the more ridiculous, the better. More episodes, please.
I love that.
Okay, well, that just really set the mood. Anything else you did this week that you want to talk about?
What did I do this week? Besides go to Cotogna.
Wallow in self-pity.
Yeah, that's like
I can talk about what I did.
Yeah, what'd you do? You go first.
So I am doing a partnership with this company called Get Your Guide.
Get Your Guide.
And it is a like tour, like they offer tours in various cities. It's like a tourist kind of book your tour guide here.
Are they the yellow cars or no? Is that
they do? So yes, that's like one of the companies that they are like affiliate partner of.
Got it.
So that was the first post I did was those yellow cars, which was an absolute blast.
Yeah, by the way, they're like little moped cars. There's
just
like
race through the city.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn, there's a yellow car with two tourists who like
wearing helmets.
Who like maybe are having fun, maybe not.
Looking like absolute jabronis. You're in your normal car. You're looking at them like, get the fuck out of my way.
They're on the highway in a helmet. It's a lot.
They're looking around pointing stuff like, oh,
that's the bridge.
What?
Oh my God. So that's one. The other offering that I did with Annie was go to Chinatown for a guided tour. Mm-hmm. And I was also, of course, I did a dad bit. So I was dressed as a man with a wig and a mustache.
Obviously.
Like
dynamic.
Can't talk about that publicly as this was a public tour and there were other people on the tour. But what did strike me, and I would love to get your take on this because I love meeting fans in the wild. Like I want to hug you. I want maybe want to kiss you. Yeah. You guys are the best. This fan was a little jokester though.
Uh-oh.
And she comes up to me and she's like, oh my God, can I get a selfie? Whispering because I'm kind of in the back of the tour. You know, I'm also dressed as a man, but sure, let's get a selfie. Like,
right. Wait, so are you on an actual tour doing this stuff?
On an actual tour, yes.
Do the people around you understand what's happening?
15 people. A lot of like foreign kind of tourists who were like, what's going on? Like
they're like, this is San Francisco. This is exactly what happens here.
Yeah. Like, and they have their selfie sticks too. Like we're all taking selfies. So her taking a selfie with me was totally fine. Then before she leaves, as a little trick, little joke,
mischievous,
she screams as the tour guide's talking, this chick's famous on TikTok. Walks away. Okay. First of all, they don't think I'm a chick.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in disguise.
You're like, where is she? I don't see her.
Which chick?
Which chick?
Okay. So I'm dressed as a man. Secondly, like that is a potential tour ruiner for me then, because then everyone's curious. The poor tour guide now has lost his audience.
Yeah.
Everyone's turned around.
He's got all these jokes too. I'm sure just
like
canned jokes that he just hits every time.
Oh, he was ready to hit the fortune cookie factory. I mean, he was on a freaking roll.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was great. What are your thoughts on that though? I was like,
again, love meeting fans and all that stuff. I for some reason have the hardest part of that story is when someone says like famous on TikTok or says like they're a TikToker or like I watch your stuff on TikTok. Like
just tell me
something about the word just TikTok.
Cringe.
I feel dehumanized and devalued.
No,
it's not wrong. It's not wrong. But it's like, how about like LinkedIn even like, or Instagram or just social media, generally speaking, why you got to say TikTok? Cause TikTok, I feel stupid.
I feel really stupid.
And you're standing there dressed like a man. So it can't be happening at once.
Oh, she's a prankster.
Yeah.
It was all happening at once. Yeah. I don't know. The TikTok was, it wasn't that. It was more just like, I'm just trying to live my life, and I took the selfie, and I love you, girlfriend.
That's some shit my fans do.
Why do we have to ruin the tour?
They all think they're Jokey McJokersteins.
Yeah, your fans will write in and be
they're
like,
just trolls.
Suck me, Ross.
Yeah, literally, show us your tits. I'm like, okay,
totally, yeah.
Cool.
My fans don't normally do that. I think that's why I was shook by it.
Yeah.
And it impacted other people, which I never want to negatively impact something.
Exactly.
And it felt like I was asking her to yell that in a way.
Right. What period of the tour did this happen on? Early or late?
Early. Yeah.
So the Finnish people are like yapping on. You don't know what they're saying, but they keep looking at you.
We got to get dim sum. The guy next to me is like, so what is it you do? I'm like, oh God, TikTok.
TikTok is what I do.
Okay. Anyway, that was my story. Love the Chinatown tour. Get Your Guide. Thank you for the sponsorship. We had a blast. Did you do anything this week notable besides get 2 dirty martinis with me?
I don't have anything to shill at the moment, so I don't have any partnerships that I can just throw out there.
You can't chill out a partnership?
No, unless I want to run Manscaped back and just tell them how absolutely silky. Anyway, no, I actually, and that'll actually lead into the theme of today's podcast. I started working with an executive coach.
Okay, what does this mean? You've talked about coaches before.
Yeah, I personally I do a lot of coaching, but I haven't been getting a lot of coaching recently.
Totally.
And I felt like, I do the therapy thing, but it wasn't quite like most of my issues now I've worked through a bunch of shit. Like, let's be clear, but most of my stuff feels like it is born out of work and social media and kind of this, what am I doing with my life? What does my career look like?
Yeah.
For what we do, there's no template. There's no hit your numbers, get promoted. There's no like, here's the step. And one day I'll be a CMO or a CRO. It's just like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I hired someone and she's awesome. And it is a lot of similar elements of therapy, but it is more professional focus and it feels more actionable and things that I can sort of mindsets that I can sort of take into certain situations.
Yeah. And knowing that you like deserve to be a coach and like you have things of value to say.
Yeah.
I think you often like not imposter syndrome, but in a way, like
Totally.
you just
I do,
view
for sure.
yourself as way less than the incredible person you are. So I think that's helpful to just hear from an
thank you.
outside, like, no, you can be a coach and be a mentor. And
no, and I really enjoy doing that stuff, but you know, it's always the like, do as I say, not as I do. It's so much harder to like employ the things that you say that you know are right. And sometimes you just need another perspective to be like, yo, not everything has to do because of something you did or didn't do. Like the world turns.
It keeps going.
It's not because of you didn't take all the right steps or make all the right moves or didn't do something. Things happen that just, you know what? Turn the ego off, dog. It has nothing to do with you.
Totally.
You know,
can you give
that's
one tip that like for our listeners or for me, perhaps?
So I actually, it sounds lame, but I basically decided like, what am I going to say yes to and what am I going to say no to when certain feelings hit me?
Yes.
And so it's things like saying yes to trusting the process, that like my journey is happening at its own pace and it's not against anybody else's pace. It's not like, you know, like I said, other people's things affect me, so to speak, unless I let them do that.
Comparison is a thief of joy, of course.
No to comparison, no to envy or jealousy. There is a difference between the two, but it's also yes to like, the world has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Like that I am like, and
that.
I know that, and I know like conceptually I know that, but I'm such a doer. Like I'm like, something happened. Okay, it happened. I suck. That doesn't matter. What do I need to do to fix it?
Mm-hmm.
It isn't always like an actionable thing. It isn't always like exist in positive space. Do to fix it. Like relax.
It could be like archive it from your brain and like stop thinking about it.
Yes, because it has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, totally.
Because just like move on and keep doing your thing.
I think as a creator too, you're constantly like, when you're scrolling, you're like, oh, that other person's making more videos and doing better, or like, just
right. This looks easy for
like
them. Like
consuming is haunting,
100%,
because you're like you're comparing and you're like, oh my god, I should have done that. That was a great idea. Like whatever, anything. And instead, it's like it's so hard to just turn that and be like, no, like good for them, or like it's really cool that they did that. Or,
it's just like it just is in the world, and like the world,
and
continues.
like their followers aren't my followers, and that's totally different. Whatever.
Right. But it's not because exactly. It's not because of you, and you can just sort of, I don't know, find peace in that.
Yeah. How often are you meeting? Will we get like a tip a week or
right now it's bi-week, every 2 weeks.
Okay. So twice a month. I might grill you for a couple more tips.
Twice a month.
Down the road.
I got another session next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, boss.
So we're working through it. We're, figuring it out one day at a time.
Well, that was our live little therapy session. Let's get into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, we're talking feedback.
Which
is relevant.
Totally.
To this. Giving it, getting it.
Getting it. What do you want to listen to? What do you maybe want to put aside? Right.
Yeah.
As Ross is currently learning.
Yeah. How do we manage people?
I think I've received feedback. I started this corporate Natalie journey very early in my career. So I was always receiving a ton of feedback, and it's interesting that
that's the beauty of the internet.
Yeah.
We're always getting feedback.
True. Everything we post, we get feedback. Yeah. Open performance review constantly. But it's nice to like just recall those stories. And we often say like, I wish we had a boss. That's probably why you got this coach. It's like, give me some freaking feedback besides these trolls on the internet or these people who love me. Like, I don't know. There's no in between.
Right.
So I'm excited for that. Then we'll do a little promoter demoted and a potentially feedback related dear demoted, right?
Sarah Tabita's favorite segment.
Sarah Tabita's favorite segment.
Obviously, promoted demoted.
Our Moter-Head
best friend,
Sarah Tabita.
Who looks forward to every Tuesday.
Why is it so hard for me to read this? It's because there's no capitals.
Yeah, Sarah Tabita. Sarah Tabita.
It's like Thumbelina.
Sarah Tabita.
It's so long.
Tabita.
Sarah Tabita.
Yeah, I don't. Shout out Sarah. Again. So I think a lot of people have heard of this concept of radical candor. Kim Scott.
I hadn't before we sat down and prep.
A lot of people who aren't you have heard of it, okay? If you're in management, you've heard of radical candor.
Or you went to business school.
And old Kimothy Scott, her name's Kim, comes and talks to you. But she does this thing all the time. So you have to imagine basically this concept, and we won't spend too long on this, Motorheads, don't worry.
We're just going to set the stage of like giving and receiving feedback.
Yeah. Pop the Adderall and buckle up.
Yeah.
Like it's going to get boring here for the next 30 to 45 seconds.
Give me 45 seconds, please. Here we go.
Kim Scott talks about giving feedback, and there's different ways to do it / not do it. And the goal at the end of the day is to be in the upper right quadrant of these two axes called radical candor.
You still with me?
Radical candor. Yeah, literally. You still with me. So, the vertical axis is caring personally, which is what you want to do. And then the horizontal axis is challenging directly, which is something you also want to do. So I'll give you the quick four of what they are. The one you want, radical candor. That's the upper right. That is caring personally and challenging directly. Things you don't want.
The ones we get in our Dear Demoted segment.
Yes. Ruinous empathy.
Ruinous empathy. You care too much, correct?
Yes.
You're almost, you care so much about their feelings that you're unwilling to give genuine feedback points.
Exactly. You're scared to challenge them. You don't want to hurt their feelings.
I would say, and as a woman in business, and maybe just as a woman in general, I feel like I fall into this often. I'm so for the girls that I'm like, I just want you to love me and I just want to be friends, that I would rather not give you hard feedback.
I'd rather just suffer in silence.
I'll suffer in silence. You know what? I'll take on the job. Thank you so much.
Well, that's true, because if you challenge, you're a bitch.
Totally.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
No, can't do that.
Right.
It's really rocking a hard
I'm
place.
a big, strong man when I do it.
You're a big, strong, tough man.
Everybody's like, wow, I love the way you challenge me
Oh my
directly.
God, he just challenged me. Totally. So very hard to strike this balance, as we'll say.
Yeah. The one that is in the lower left, directly opposite of Radical Candor, is manipulative insincerity, which is basically backstabbing. It's being passive aggressive, if you will, kind of praising to the face, but then talking shit behind their back.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah.
Frickin'.
Did you hear Sharon's presentation today?
Hear that?
Shitty.
God, tough. I'm a big crap talker sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
But it's usually towards myself or you.
Yeah, or we're sitting at Cotogna and stuff starts getting loose.
Matt's sitting there just miserable.
He's like, why am I here? Okay, other quadrant before we get obnoxious aggression. This is the bosses who are just
in
fighters.
Your face. Yeah.
In your face.
Challenging,
screaming.
Just screaming at you.
No empathy.
The opposite of ruinous empathy. So
Yes.
you're either passive or you're super aggressive. Those are the upper left and lower right quadrants.
Yep. So where we want to land is radical candor.
Radical Candor.
Can you explain this to me?
Yes. In fact, I'm going to read it because I'm going to let Kimmy Scott do it. And this will take 2 seconds. So
And
Radical Candor.
We call her Kimmy because she's our friend.
Right.
Perfect.
Maybe we'll have her on the pod one day.
Thank you, Kimmy.
And she can give us some radical candy.
Yep.
Okay. It's what happens. Radical candor is what happens when you show someone that you care personally while you challenge directly without being aggressive or insincere. It's not brutal honesty. Radical candor really just means saying what you think while also giving a damn about the person you're saying it to.
Love that. Have you had
It's that easy.
Have you had moments of that and feedback you've received?
I've had a little bit of everything in my life.
Totally.
Shout out to the trolls on the internet. You're super fun.
You really fall into radical candor.
I'm such a radical candor guy.
I'm huge on radical candor.
First of all, love you. Second of all, here's what we could do better.
I think also running a small business, it's really important to fall in that because there's no one else to fall back on.
Yep.
For me, it's 2 employees, you similarly. Like you do need to give that feedback, be direct, but also be super caring of this person because there's just 2 of you and their feelings and, emotions matter.
Yeah. You said you fall into the,
Overly empathetic.
Yeah. The ruinous empathy. I
would never pin you as that.
No, well, so there's something nuanced in between where I get really close with people. And what I always worry about is, am I losing the respect piece? Like when I do need to challenge, because when I will challenge, are they willing, and I'm probably thinking about this also, like I coach a high school baseball team, JV team, bunch of little nerds running around. They're like 14 years old. And there's like a distinct area where it's like, I can be a 14-year-old and I can relate to 14-year-olds really well.
Oh,
Shocker.
Easy.
Shocker. But then when it's like, they're fucking around too much and it's time to focus up, can I control, like, can I get them to do what I need them to do and be serious for a second?
And can you all the time?
Not all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder, I'm becoming too close with them. I'm becoming too friendly with them.
Your dad.
They think I'm their brother and they want to shit talk me, Coach Corp.
Funny.
Coach Corp. And so that's always been the thing I've been worried about. It's like, by becoming close with people and caring, genuinely caring, am I losing the ability to challenge when I need to?
Yeah.
Like it's time to focus up, squad.
Totally.
I
mean, for me, Annie and I work in my bedroom, and we still have performance reviews monthly,
casual.
and it's very, so intimate. Like we travel together.
Yeah. Set the scene for those. So you do
So I have one employee, Annie, who I love. Can't say a bad thing about her. No.
Except what are we doing? Ruinous? No, that's no. Yeah.
No. But her and I both, we do performance reviews and we say what are areas I have her review me, what are areas I can work on as a manager, what are areas she can work on as my employee.
Yep.
And we always, it's like we change the hat from friend to coworker and colleague. And it's like, I'm so thankful that we're able to step into those serious conversations because the day that foundation is broken is the day our work is broken.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not able to really candidly say this is, something I want to work on together or leading with empathy still, but just being able to give feedback in any capacity is, that's important to do.
I think also what's important that you do is creating a space for it.
Totally.
You know, like it's not always going to be the bedroom. It may, or like, you know, maybe it is sometimes, but it's like, here's the time and place. Here's where we're going to do it. And now this is focus time.
Yeah. And I never I try really hard to not move those. Like things come
Yeah.
up all the time in our lives. And like, it's important to have those check-ins.
I do quarterly check-ins with Becca.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go expense a lunch, and we have a whole book of what's working well at work, what's not working well, what's working well in our relationship, what's not working well.
That's really good.
We got a little checklist. We check in on our goals.
That's great.
You know, yeah, we do it. We do it. You know, we got our Monday morning meetings from time to time, but that's a
different line to teeter for me.
Yeah.
Than mine. But do you want to
There's
share
a lot
that?
of challenging directly. There's a lot of challenging directly.
For the Moter-Heads, we can cut this. Becca is Ross's wife and business partner.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, we could have a whole another episode on managing that line.
Totally. I mean, it's hard to give feedback when you've seen your, employee naked.
That's funny. That's funny. And she's going to cut it.
She's
I love
gonna
you,
cut
Becca.
it.
It's already been cut.
She's going to cut it. Should we throw some stats out there? You know what the Moter-Heads, they eat
what they
stats
want?
for breakfast.
You know what they want?
Tell them.
A freaking stat.
Fucking stat.
Give it to them.
All right. 96% of employees say getting regular feedback is a good thing. Color me shocked.
Color me shocked.
Color me shocked.
Color me shocked.
The
I think
4%
that's
are
good.
just like, I'm already good.
I'm good enough.
4% are
dog.
Gen Z. I'm kidding.
But
I'm kidding.
honestly think that this is higher. I really think it's hard for people to receive feedback in a genuine way.
But they say getting regular feedback is a good thing. 96% say it's a good thing.
That shocked. I think that's high to me.
Oh, you think that's high? You think less people?
I think less people genuinely want feedback. They'll always say, "Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
yeah,
yes,
right, 'cause
always
it's the
give
right
me
thing to
feedback
say.
because it's the right thing to say."
Yeah.
If I got this on an anonymous survey from HR, in air quotes, anonymous survey, of course I'm putting yes. I love feedback.
Yeah.
But deep down, I'm like, it's kind of exhausting when they keep telling me
It
I'm doing
feels
something
kind of
wrong.
mean.
I don't like it. I just want to show up and just do fine.
We love the status quo.
Totally.
We live with the status
I
quo.
never live in the status quo. I was such a tryhard. If you listen to our early episodes and heard my story, I am very much
Yeah.
a freaky tryhard.
I'm going to try hard, then I get comfortable.
Then you get
Then I
nice
get
and
weird.
comfy.
Then I get weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's a stat with the number 69 in it, though. Do you want to read it?
Please. Employees who receive recognition from management are 69% more likely to do better work.
It's true. I know that to be true.
Totally.
And there's just no way it's 1% over or under.
No,
69%.
it has to be
It's absolutely 69%.
I think also it's pairing it with, it's like constructive criticism, right? Like it feels also really great to receive positive affirmations from management.
Yep.
And I think if you're not coupling criticism with that,
Well, it makes it feel more real, right? If someone's
yeah.
just like always heaping praise, it's kind of like,
or always tearing you down. It's annoying. It's like you have to strike the balance.
yeah.
And
yeah.
always find, my friend was talking about, she had a performance review with her new employee and she genuinely showed up, which I don't know your take on this, but she genuinely showed up and said she has nothing to work on.
Yikes.
Early in career person. If you feel that way about yourself, which I've felt that way before,
Yeah.
oh my God, I could run this company. You show up with at least 2 things that you really think I could do better on. The thing could be learning more about the industry.
Yeah.
You're going to say you know everything, you have nothing to work on. That's shocking.
Push
to me.
yourself outside the job description itself. Like if you think about the thing you need to do at the next level, work on that.
Totally. That's a great piece of advice.
That's there's always something, always learning, curious.
And for areas of improvement, I'll just flip that right back to you because I don't have anything written here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Because I had a list a mile long for you, sweetheart.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're still gonna need the full 45. Because I got shit to say.
We're not cutting it early.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you think performance reviews matter? Like from your perspective in the corporate world? And
I think the concept of them is useful. I think overwhelmingly they're useless because they're executed poorly, especially in sales. Like sales, salespeople get away with a lot. If they're a top performer, they're a top performer. If they're closing a bunch of business, it's kind of like, that's my job.
You're going to get promoted.
I got one job function. It is close business. And if I'm doing it, I'm kind of like,
you kind of have all the data there to
Yeah.
support whether or not.
it is a fallacy though, because constantly you'll see in sales, like many things, the top performers get promoted into leadership roles, but they're dog shit leaders.
Yep.
They're not good.
Interesting.
They're not empathic people. They're not like
Good managers.
good people.
Yeah.
They're good at closing business, which is
Totally
a
different
very
skill.
narrow skill set,
Yeah.
a very useful one. But
I always preach, and one of my earliest career mentors taught me this, is track your performance. And these performance reviews actually really do impact your career and your potential early promotion or whatever you want in the next phase. I think coming with that package, and Annie and I have actually had discussions on this, like in my own business, I was like, if you want a raise, if you want a different, a change of comp plan, different things, you have to come with the evidence as to why.
yeah,
And like she always comes absolutely strapped.
Strapped with
that.
evidence.
It's really hard for
She's
me to
an
say
evidence
no
dealer.
to this to her. Yeah, she
Yeah.
is an evidence dealer. But it's so great. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like you do all these things. Why would I ever not reward that?
Yeah.
And I think it's, if you have the actual written evidence of, I got this email from someone who said, wow, your comms were incredible. I have this. I've posted, I do all this daily. Like, here's what my day looks like. Thank you for telling me that. Because I'm off in La La Land making content. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Filming stupid shit.
I'm filming stupid TikTok trends. Yeah. So thank God you told me. No.
Yeah. I mean, not true. There's some truth in there.
Yeah. But I think performance reviews are very important.
Do you have a particular feedback or performance reviews that stick out?
I have one from when I was early in my career at Deloitte. And I don't know if I've told this before on this podcast. Sorry to the OG Moter-Heads if you've already heard this. But
yeah, they've been writing down, taking notes.
Literally, they have
reading
their
the transcripts.
notebook. Yeah, I mean, after these stats, please. I had a boss call me in and she was like, quick question. How do you pick icons? Have I told the story?
No.
Okay. She was like, quick question. How do you pick icons to put in the decks? Because she'll be like, oh, could you, spruce this up? Like a main thing of what you do as a consultant is just make the deck look pretty.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole icon library.
So fulfilling.
So I love my job.
Yeah.
There's an icon library of hundreds of icons to choose from. There's like 18 variations of a money sign with like money flying, money in an envelope, money, blah, 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 whatever. And so she calls me and she's like, how do you choose the icons that you put on each of the slides? I'm like, I just kind of see what sticks out to me. Yep. I'm like, oatmeal 3, ramen bowl, whatever. There's an icon for everything.
Totally.
I'm just picking things, I'm throwing it on. I thought you just wanted me to spice it up. So I'm throwing, I don't know, bowl of rice.
Sure.
On slide 3.
Obviously.
She's like, so these icons do mean something, right? I just want you to know, like when we send this deck to the client, they mean something. They're looking at, why would a bowl of oatmeal be on slide 3? That doesn't really make sense. I'm like, you guys look at these things? I dead serious. I was like, I thought it was just to be pretty.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea. She's like, so like, for something about a financial thing, you should probably put something related to money.
Right.
And blah, blah.
Right.
I was like, oh my God. I had no idea. Left, started sobbing in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because she's just been deleting my icons this whole time. Now I'll only put relevant icons.
Yeah. And you learned your lesson.
Like, thank you, Stephanie, for saying something to me.
Steph.
Love you, Steph.
You grew that day.
I grew.
You knew in your soul, you're like, she's right.
Yeah. So right.
She's so right.
Do you have any performance review moments?
So the pilot of Sales Are Dope, of course, the Corporate Bro pilot, 2019. I was trying to figure out how do I get this thing made. I don't know shit about shit. So I'm like calling people. I'm cold calling people. And I reached this woman named Jana. And if you look at the end of our pilot, it just says like, and a hearty, I think actually at the end of every single one of the newest series episodes, it says, and a hearty fuck you to Jana.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
In the credits?
Yeah. At the very end.
Stop it.
I'm putting it in everything I do. So she ran or runs, I don't know where she's at. And I don't have any issue talking about this because this was like a truly.
What if Jane is a Moter-Head?
She's not.
I can promise you
She's
that.
not.
I can promise you
I
she's
assure
not.
you, if she sees my face, she has a visceral reaction.
Okay. Tell me, I'm on the edge of my seat.
So I'm taking the script into her because I want to be like, hey, how do I get this made? Like, you're the Academy of Art. Like, maybe you can help me out. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I walk in to meet her for the first time. And before she says hi or anything, she looks at me and she goes, oh, one of those.
One of what?
I'm like,
One of what?
okay. I'm wearing like kind of cool, trying like a bomber jacket. I'm wearing some like Jordans. I'm like trying to be a little bit like artsy, but cool. I'm not like in a suit or anything. And I think she called me one of those rich kids too in the same like breath. And I was like, okay.
Before you've even started.
Before I said a word to her.
You're like, I'm sorry, my bomber jacket's so fly.
Yeah, literally.
What do you want from me?
Literally. I like explain to her what I'm trying to do. She's like semi-cool, kind of like, let me read this script for you and get you some feedback and like see what we can do. Okay, fast forward like a week or so. She calls me. I'm sitting there on the phone. She's using things like, she's like, I would have changed the channel on this in the first 5 seconds. She's saying things like, I can't think of a single character I give a shit about in this whole thing. She's going in on me like, this is like one of the worst things I've ever read. No joke. And I'm sitting there.
You should stop. Yeah.
I'm sitting there just like, thank you. Like, no, thank you. I just really appreciate it. Like, this is like super helpful. It was so not constructive.
No.
And Becca's in the other room hearing me. I'm like super upbeat.
Thank you so much,
Jana.
Jana.
And she's like, this will never get made. You should never make this. Like, I don't care about this. This is like bad. Like going off on me. And so it was weird because she said some things that made it seem like she didn't read it or like understand. She even pronounced the word like quota wrong. And I was like,
she's like in the quota on page 4.
Some shit like that. And I was like, so anything you didn't like? And I said that.
So
I said
funny.
like no, I mean, she's ranting for like 15 minutes. So
That's
anything you did-
hilarious.
she's just like all of it. And I was like,
What's wrong with her?
oh my.
Why are you going to this person for feedback?
I don't know. Cause I think
You were just so
it's-
new. You were like, I'll take anything I can get.
I was just trying to find information because I don't know how to like shoot a show. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And I have never been so brutally destroyed across the board. And I knew, I was like laughing with Beck after. I was like, this is all gonna be part of the story. This will all like come together one day and I'll get this thing made. And you know, who knows?
Totally.
You know, maybe she was right. Maybe it was dog shit. Like the first
I don't
pilot
think
was bad.
Jana was right.
That was like my true welcome to Hollywood moment. I think she sort of pegged me as like someone with a ton of advantage who's like, I'm just going to like make this, like, I think I'm the shit. I'm going to make this thing. And
That
like,
is crazy.
like right off the bat, it's like, yeah, I come from advantage, but I'm going to bankroll this thing myself from all the corporate bro shit I've done. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to do this and I want to do this as well as I can. Like, that's why I'm coming to you. I'm trying to learn, like, how does this shit work? Cause I want to
Also
do it
just
right.
like guilty till proven innocent. Like you were pegged at the second you walked in.
Before I said a word,
Yeah. Like that's just,
she just started ripping me apart. And I was like, holy shit.
I can't handle that.
Because the first time was fine. I was like, oh, she's going to be a coach. Like she'll be, you know, she's going to like, this is all part of the plan. And you keep waiting for the like, but here's what I do like. Here's what I do like.
Here's what we
never
should
came.
keep the shell of. Blah, blah. No.
Nothing, never came.
Never
Never came.
And that's
Never
not how
came.
you give feedback. What quadrant would that fall into?
That would be, what is the aggressive,
Aggressive.
hateful, spiteful, angry. I think we call it obnoxious aggression.
Thank you, Jana.
That's what Kim Scott would call it. So
Wow.
You'll see at the end of anything major that I do, it'll say, fuck you, Jana.
I thank you. And now we're going to be looking for that Easter egg. I need to take a moment because I'm feeling so fatigued by that story. I feel so drained.
I know. I think I need a mental beef stick.
I need a beef stick.
I need a beef stick.
I think. And what I really need is a Chomps beef stick, right?
Well, the good news for both of us is we have Chomps beef sticks right here.
And I want to call back to one of our first episodes
Yeah.
for all you OG Moter-Heads, where we started the episode with a desperate plea to Chomps to sponsor us.
We put down no less than 100 beef sticks a week. And that is like, I might not even be exaggerating.
You might not be exaggerating. We were seeing how fast we could shove down a beef stick. Obviously, that was how we started the episode because
Yeah.
you guys wanted to hear it. You wanted to see it.
We were ASMRing beef stick.
ASMR and beef stick. And we
Yep.
said, please, Chomps, if you're hearing this, we want to partner.
We want to partner so bad.
16 episodes later, we got a sponsor,
Chomps partner, baby.
We love these beef sticks so much. This is the most genuine sponsorship
I
you'll
honestly-
ever see beyond Ross shaving his balls. I
Yeah,
mean, it is
truly
huge.
Truly.
We love them.
All stick without the ick, 10 grams of protein, 100 calories. There are so many different flavors. I have the whole rainbow. They're actually displayed prominently
in a frame.
on my cabinet.
Yep.
Like on my pantry. Well, you think about these other beef sticks, you're like, gas station, like whatever. This is like,
Totally.
this is my snack now.
Primo.
This is my snack now.
We love Chomps. If you see these brightly colored Chomps at a store near you, pick one up. Try
Highly
it.
recommend.
Shove it down. All in one or take a bite.
Whole 30 approved.
Whole 30 approved.
So thank you, Chomps.
Thank you, Chomps.
Really appreciate you guys.
Ross and I often give each other feedback, and we
do.
often give ourselves feedback while we're rolling.
We're really good at the self-talk.
Try to find those mentors, peers, people in your life who you can get that genuine feedback from. Even if it's like a roommate who's like, girl, you are not doing the dating game right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just have someone who can give it to you.
Someone you trust.
Someone you trust.
Yeah.
Like, I value your opinion.
It's so hard. It's hard to build that trust in a professional situation. You know, like someone where I had some managers who I actually got really close with who could just give me real-time feedback. And I think part of that, I think that's actually really important. Saving it all for a performance review isn't ideal because a lot of things will come and go. And it's like, you're
Just
sitting
give
on it.
Yeah.
Like giving feedback as soon as something happens, not like the second, like, no, you fucked that up, do it again. But it's like pulling someone aside afterwards, you know, telling them what they did well, being like, hey, like little feedback here, boom. Like otherwise, you fucking crushed.
Love that.
Right?
I'm such a like, kind of take it offline and create a running list. That's just like paragraphs that I just like stew on for months.
Yeah.
And
You
then we
kind of have
come
to
the
normalize
performance
feedback.
review. Yeah, you
have
do have
to,
to normalize it.
because otherwise it does feel like it's a thing.
Yeah.
And it feels like heavier than it needs to be. At times it's small tweaks, it's little stuff here and they're like, yo, okay, done. I got
Yeah.
you.
Like, I'm not offended by this.
Yeah.
Just wanted to share.
I want to get it
Take
done.
it or leave it.
Exactly.
Okay. Shrimp alert.
Fuck me. I'm a shrimpy boy.
I'm a little shrimp boy.
What's it going to be like when my vertebrae finally fuse together and I am just fully shaped like the letter C. I'm going to love it here.
I'm excited.
I'm going to love it here.
Here's how to give destructive criticism.
Destructive criticism. Here's how to give destructive criticism.
Your performance was well below what was expected this quarter, but that's my fault for believing in you.
I know you're proud that you overcame the urge to quit, but maybe next time lean in.
Your analysis could have been more thorough, but I guess you did what you could with the skills you have.
I would say it's not you, it's me, but in this case, it is most definitely you.
That's how I like to break up with people too.
Yeah.
I actually like that one.
It's not you, it's me. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
It's totally you.
I did nothing wrong.
It's you.
Yep. Your presentation wasn't great, but then again, no one expects greatness from you.
You've really mastered the art of trying. Now let's try succeeding.
Try succeeding.
Once.
Just for once in your goddamn
Mix it in.
life.
Mix it in.
Mix in succeeding.
I mean,
Mix in success.
Effort is important, but results are too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's
bye.
how you give great feedback. Take it from us.
Yep. Let's do some promoted, demoted.
Our favorite segment, and also
Sarah Tabita's.
Sarah Tabita.
Sarah Tabita.
Promoted or demoted? Memojis. Parentheses. Your Apple avatar.
Me. Oh, those are the ones that are like little like humanoid versions of you.
Yes, and they're like
Demoted.
Jumping.
Demoted.
Completely.
Why? Like
You
I
know
actually
who
hit my
uses
Instagram
those?
story and they like pop up.
My mom.
Your mom.
And you know who's allowed to use those? My mom.
Yeah.
Right?
It's totally made for the boomers.
She can use whatever she wants.
She can do whatever she wants.
She's customized this thing. It looks
Right.
nothing like her. She's like, isn't it so me?
Right.
I'm like,
You're
well, no.
No,
I'm
but-
not seeing it.
I don't know how to say this without being mean.
So I'm going to demote it.
I'm going to demote it hard.
As well.
Demoted so friggin' hard. Okay. Promoted, demoted. Ghost riding the whip.
I'm going to be completely honest and kind of vulnerable here. I don't know what that means.
Ghost ride the whip. Ghost riding the whip is a part of the, God, look at me being cool for a second, but old cool. You know the hyphy movement, East Bay rap.
Okay.
Ghost riding the whip is like
I've
the
heard
guys,
it in songs.
the guys who would basically, you get out of your car as it's, it's when it's in drive, how it slowly moves.
Yep.
And you just like start popping off. You can
As it's
his
like
face
kind of
as it's
neutral.
as it's
Okay.
kind of like neutral
Walking
rolling
up,
or like
got
drive rolling, and people would just like get on, like jump on the car and dance on it.
Have you done that before?
Ghost riding the whip. No, I had a purple minivan. It wasn't as sick. My first car was a purple minivan,
I need a photo of
Chrysler
that.
Town and Country.
Could we get a photo?
I could try to dig it up. I honestly, this is like pre-smartphone
Okay.
era, or like right when smartphones were
It's like
becoming
a blurry Polaroid in some shoebox in your mom's attic.
Maybe, yeah, possibly.
Okay.
Rolling
Cool.
8 dudes deep to a party.
Totally.
Everyone was like, "Get these guys in here."
Yeah. These
There's
guys
so
are
much chill in
sick.
this van. We slide the back door open.
Stop it.
All these dudes spill out.
Only men.
Only men.
Not a single
Yeah.
woman in
Yeah,
sight.
we weren't getting into a lot of clubs.
We would tape up the photos of the boobs inside the van.
Yeah.
Right. Would we have been friends in high school?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Promoted or demoted Yelp reviewers.
Wow.
I have some strong opinions on this. So do you look at Yelp reviews and like look at reviews?
Sometimes.
Okay. Have you ever written a review? If not extremely like negative.
Yes and yes.
So you've gone on and even like had a great experience with.
Oh, have I done positive?
Yeah. Have you done positive?
Oh, no.
Okay.
That's not what it's there for.
No, that's
No.
not. But
No.
also so you have written negative. I'm like, who's going behind their camera rating?
I wrote
a
one negative
review?
one,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why.
Please.
So as you know, I work out at this incredible facility called the YMCA.
Okay.
It's-
Love.
it's-
It's like an Equinox.
It's like an Equinox, but for
It's like an Equinox if it smelled bad
right,
and there's no showers or
right,
like any amenities.
right. It's just sort of a BO sort of place. I went to this one on 18th Street. Great, I could walk to it all the time. They got these brand new machines. Okay, that seems like it could be cool in theory, unless you're a physical freak like me, and the machines put you in ergonomically unsafe positions. I hurt myself multiple times. I was like, you guys, these machines are actually dangerous. And I was like getting the trainers. Like, I'm not even this guy. Like, I'm not a complainer like this.
Well, also a gym rat.
I'm also
You're kind of coming out as a gym rat
yes,
as well.
I am. And I was like, someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get hurt. Like, and they're like, yeah, we hear complaints from guys like you, but the majority of people who work out here are like old people who aren't really pushing the weight too much. And
Sorry,
I'm like,
you're too freaking buff for the new machines, big guy.
well, I'm trying not to say it in a way that sounds ageist or otherwise ist. But I ended up being like, they're like, we need you to write a review. Like, the only way we can get this changed is like, YMCA is a national organization. They don't give a shit what like. So I went on there. I was like, I actually did get hurt. I ended up like hurting my knee, and I was hurt for 3 weeks, and I was so fucking pissed off when I can't work out. So you know what I did? I didn't cancel my membership. I went to a different YMCA. That'll show them.
Amazing.
Fuck them.
That'll show them.
Fuck them. And I know the people at the desk are like, man, I miss Ross.
They still got those machines there.
Where's Corey? Yeah, they still got these
They
brand
just don't have
new
you yapping in their ear.
Yep.
All the old people love the new machines.
I know they miss me.
They must miss you.
Those little high school boys who all crowd around the same machine to do
Just like ripping it.
playing like cell phone games.
God.
They miss me. So
You need to join a better gym.
probably.
But
I can't find myself. I can't go in the marina. I can't go in the marina.
dare I say, a couple more Chomp sponsorships?
If Equinox wants to hit me up and let me, give me some towel service, I'm fine. But
Okay.
I like walking to my gym.
Yelp reviewers.
I'm going to promote it because I need all the info I can. I'm glad someone took the time. I always discount it, right? If like there's the same theme and like this place sucks, then fine, okay, that's probably a problem. But I usually look to see like, is there a picture of the food? Because I can't decide if I want that chicken mole.
I think that's helpful.
Or if I want the cubano.
I do. I do love the people who are phone eating first.
Yeah.
Because that helps me make my decision. I'll promote it.
They promote Yelp reviews. Yeah.
Because I like the photos.
Yeah.
Promoted or demoted office pranks.
I'm going to promote it.
Gotcha.
I'm going to promote it within like tasteful pranks. Don't hurt someone. Don't break someone's shit.
What's a good prank you've pulled, Ross? Tell us about a prank.
One of my coworkers went out of town for a week. So I taped everything in his cubicle. I taped everything. I wrapped everything in tape. I put like tape across the cubicle and then stuck different pictures of my face all around it. So, it's like when people come back into rooms full of balloons and the balloons spill out. It was kind of like that, except it was taped pictures of my face.
And they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, great. I spent 45 minutes.
Clean up.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes getting like the tape off my phone so I could open it again.
I'm anti-pranks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to be pranked.
I don't want to be pranked.
I don't
either.
even want to be here in the office.
I was 23.
Tired.
I was 23.
You had tape.
I had so much tape. I was at Oracle.
What else am I supposed to do?
I was acting up. I was being crazy.
Why did I literally think you were gonna say like? So I led an African python into his drawer.
So I rented a snake.
Yeah, so I go to Petco and I get one of those snakes you're not allowed to touch.
Yeah,
and I put it in his desk drawer. Like
I thought it'd be so funny.
You're such a little shit that you would totally do that.
No. So I'm still like I'm so anti like street prank TikTok stuff, like just ruining people's day for no fucking reason.
Totally, we are both anti that.
Like I'm just
but a little tape here and there.
Little tape on the phone. Come on. We're all working in cubes. Someone's got to spice it up.
Totally. It's just a cube.
How spicy as hell. All right. Promoted, demoted. Warning new hires. They just joined a shit show.
Maybe in the drunk heart to heart, as we mentioned.
Yeah. Maybe in the drunk heart to heart.
I don't think leading with it puts you in a good light. And I think it could actually hurt you.
Did you hear that shit? You're going to hear a lot of that. You're going to hear a lot of
this total shit show.
Yeah. Oh, that's normal. That is completely normal. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. They didn't tell you that in new hire orientation?
Well, welcome to your living hell.
Chugs a beer and walks away.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I appreciate when an older person like kind of takes you under their wing and is like, oh, I honestly wouldn't like gives you little do's and don'ts.
Yes,
but not like you're walking into your,
like shit's fucked
your
here.
New living hell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you've made a horrible choice.
That would suck.
That would suck.
You're like after the 9 months of interviewing, really?
Let them figure it out on their own.
Totally.
Let them discover that by themselves.
So we're going to demote that.
I'm going to demote it.
Okay. Promoted or demoted, drinking coffee after dinner?
What am I doing? Here's the thing. I love espresso tini. Is that drinking? I mean, is that coffee?
Any coffee or tea for the table?
Yeah.
Hang on.
It's 9.
It's 9. What do you mean any coffee or tea for the table?
Yeah. Even if I had decaf, like I'm going to be up.
Also, that tastes like butt. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that.
If it's a Friday night, Saturday night, and I'm going crazy, I'm gonna go crazy.
I'll take I'll take an espresso martini. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll take 5.
Early in the night espresso martini. Dap me up, dog.
Okay.
That was promoted or demoted.
Okay. Coffee after dinner, demoted.
Demoted. I can't do it.
Espresso martini on this Friday after our live show. Promoted.
Hard promote. What are we doing?
We haven't really shared this
with
the Motor Gang because it's kind of a little test.
It's a test. It's a secret. It's not the real show. We obviously tell you guys first.
It's a secret, but we're doing a secret live show.
Secret live show here in SF.
Where we record the podcast, if you don't know where we are right now, we're in the Zoom Info Creative Labs.
Yep.
Creative Studio. I'm not sure what they call it.
They're just Zoom Info Labs. It's their little office they've got here downtown.
Zoom Info has graciously allowed us, two freaks, to get on stage with their CEO, Henry Schuck, and interview him in front of...
Just bury him.
Just bury him alive.
Just ruin him.
In front of all of his employees.
Yes.
And shareholders and
some of their partners.
And some of their partners. No, but we're super excited. We're kind of testing out this like CEO/leadership series that we're going to launch in hopefully a live show capacity.
Yeah.
If this goes horribly wrong, we might have to cut this.
You'll never hear about it again.
You'll never hear about it again.
It'll be a great story in a subsequent episode.
Totally.
About the crashing and burning.
But our hope is that you Moter-Heads can like kind of bring us out to your HQs and have us do a similar style live show with your CEO.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, we're also going to potentially test just like a general podcast episode. I mean, so the format's going to be a normal episode, but in the middle we do an interview. That's going to be similar to Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis, except it'll be Between Two Corpse. And
a little bit worse.
And a little bit worse.
Yeah.
And a little more tame, because if we are to tank their stock price because of something we said, we're going to feel really bad.
Really, really bad.
Like bad people.
But luckily, I'll be here to censor Ross.
Yes.
Hopefully it doesn't have too many espresso martinis beforehand.
I will not be having one beforehand.
We actually talked about that. We're going to have one drink before?
We're going to have one drink before, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe it will be an espresso martini.
Why not? I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
It's like so like into it's like we've spoken on way bigger stages, but for some reason it's just like it's just a new format for us. So I'm a little nervous.
And it's like 100, 150 people. It's going to be way more free flowing. You know, we obviously have our outline, but anything could really happen.
Yeah. And it's hard for us because when we record the podcast, the stuff you don't see is us being like, oh, let's re-say that.
Yep.
Or which when you're in front of a live audience, it's very hard to be like, oh, let's re-say
Maybe you don't say that offensive joke again.
Yeah. Hey, can we cut
blank their mind? Yeah,
totally. Phones down, everyone.
Yeah. It will be a phoneless
audience.
audience.
It will be.
Just in case we go crazy.
In case so if you don't see anything promoted about it, that's why.
Yeah, and if you don't hear from us for the next couple of weeks, something went horribly wrong.
We're in jail.
And we're in jail, and we're letting it sort of simmer. We're letting everything sort of simmer.
Let's get into Dear Demoted, our final segment. Adderall's probably wearing off, and don't worry, we're almost to the bitter end.
We're almost to the end. If you have that extended release, you're probably okay.
You're good for another couple hours. I'm going to kick it to Ross to read this one because I'm sick and tired of reading.
Sure. All right, Dear Demoted, to my favorite people on the internet. Stop it. I could use some Nat plus Ross advice. I work in sales for an AI startup based in SF. I know, very original. For the last 3 years, and I physically live in Denver, Colorado, working from home. For context, they hired me as a remote worker, and I've always lived in Denver. Recently, I've started traveling a lot to the Bay, 3 or so times a month, for in-person demos, presentations, and our CEO has decided I should move to SF. This has always been a common theme where our leadership jokingly asks me to move, but now they're laying it on thick. Every time we chat, it comes up, and it's starting to become excessive. On top of this request being generally rude, considering my entire family lives in Denver, along with my boyfriend and all of our friends, he hasn't mentioned any incentives, bonus at all that would be given to me if I do move. I'm reaching the point where I might truly need to shut it down because to date, I've been like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, it might be difficult, but like I'll look into it sort of attitude since I'm non-confrontational. I was our first sales hire and closed deals alongside our exec team, so we're very close. But what can I say to him that won't come off as disrespectful, yet still make it clear I'm not moving? Or if you guys think SF is the greatest city in the world, convince me to move, and what should my stipulations be? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, lot to unpack here.
Conundrum.
Total conundrum let's start with, is SF the greatest city?
Well, Denver's pretty dope.
So I think Denver and SF are the exact same.
They're pretty dope. They're both dope.
But like there's the pipeline between SF and Denver is like, I have so many friends that have lived there, live here.
Yep.
Like it's big on skiing, like nature, hiking. Those attributes are very similar between Denver and SF. Do you think SF's the greatest city though? Should we convince her to move here?
I don't know if SF is any better than Denver necessarily. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are like, there's so much poop on the ground. Like people who've never been here love to say that. That's their favorite thing to say. I will say there is something to be said for being in person. I will make the argument that if you believe in this company and see this company going somewhere, AI is hot right now. Some AI companies are going to win. And do you want to see yourself as the CRO one day? Like if the company HQ is going to be here and they need leadership here and you're the first sales hire. And so right now it sounds like this person is pretty well positioned to continue up the chain. I don't know what series level they are, but I have a friend. She's been working somewhere since they raised their Series A. And they just told her when they raise Series C, she'll become the COO.
Oh,
and that could be a year. That could be a year, possibly more. But they basically said you're in position to take over this leadership role when the company reaches the next level. That is a massive, massive opportunity. And so this person needs to decide if that is the limitation. If, family, friends, which are super important in life.
Our families are here.
Our families are here, so it's easy to say. That's the potential trade-off.
That's really good advice. I agree. But My friend similarly just had an opportunity, where she's like, oh, I could go to this job and make a lot more money, but I'd have to be in office 5 days a week and I'd have to like make this huge lifestyle change. And I do think there's another side of like, if you're content and you're happy, so be it. Or if you want to be the CRO.
Right. And also like you can say, am I sacrificing now or am I sacrificing later?
Yeah.
Like, where do I want to be? Like if life, like you said, is good and there isn't a lot of change and like, what are your career aspirations? Don't move. Don't move. And maybe there's other companies that you can jump to and maybe you could still do the leadership role. Like maybe it's come out here for a year, kind of prove you can do the job and then slowly start slipping your way back to Denver. And they don't say shit because you've proven you can do the job.
And let's talk about what she should be getting if she does make this move.
Yeah.
They're covering all of your moving expenses.
100%.
And I think you should get like
Promotion?
10 to 15K, just bony.
Yeah. Like some sort of bonus. I would ask for all these things. I'm not necessarily... I mean, if it's not a bonus, it's a raise. It's a promotion raise, title change.
Yes.
For sure. Is it a leadership role, a management role? Like what's the next piece?
I think you ask for the full suite.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what they can give.
Equity for sure. More equity in the startup.
Oh, far more equity. Yeah.
You know, and kind of really position and have a heart to heart about like, what do you see the future for me at this company? Let's play this out. Let's pretend I do move. This person says they're close. Sit them down. Let's play this out. Look, it kind of feels like you guys keep saying, you want me to move. I hear you. However, you should know it's hard for me given my life is here. What do you see the future of this company looking like? What is this organization structure? Is everyone going to be in the office? Like, what do you see for me in particular if I do move out here?
Yes.
You know, what's not the what's in it for me, but like, how do you see this playing out for me? And then go quiet. Let them talk. Let them run their mouth. They may not be prepared for that question. They may just, and then they start giving you shit. And then you start holding them to it. You know? So
I think that's great advice.
That's the choice.
Follow all of that. Listen to Ross and shoot us a text when you move out here.
Yeah.
Let
us know. You know, we'll get you some tickets to the live show if you move out by, I don't know, Thursday night. Yeah.
I love saying things like shoot us a text.
Shoot us a text.
As if like, just shoot us a text.
Shoot us a text. Whatever.
Thank you. They have our number.
A lot of randos have my number apparently.
I like to give out my number freely when I'm at a bar. I'm like, oh my God, text me.
Yeah. Let me know.
Text me.
Yeah.
That was Dear Demoted. And that was our episode on performance reviews and feedback.
Yeah. Feedback's good. Feedback is a gift.
If you want us to read your review and then reference it again for pretty much the whole episode.
Like Sarah Tabita's.
Please leave us a review with 5 stars.
I can't wait for Sarah to be like, it's Tabita, you stupid wenches.
It's Sarah Tabita, you stupid idiot. Okay, well, it was Sarah Tabita for us. Yeah. Okay, and we freaking love you.
And we can't fix it, so.
We can't fix it in post. Leave us a review.
Yep. Send us your confessions. If you have topics you want us to cover, workplace topics, you know, send that to us as well.
Sorry, I disassociated for a second there.
Yeah.
Ross is giving us feedback. I was like crying, yawning, so tired. Sorry, guys. We've been in these beanbag chairs for a while today, but if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, you know we will pop these asses for a YouTube
Yeah, we
sub.
will pop these asses for a lot of things, but primarily subscribing on YouTube.
New watches.
Liking, commenting, all that stuff. No, we need it. We need to figure out something with the YouTube audience. I don't know what's going on there.
People don't like us on YouTube.
They don't like the YouTube.
I mean, the amount of production we put into this.
I mean, these lights. You think these lights are cheap?
They're like, we just throw it on in the car and listen.
Yeah.
No one's seeing us.
Totally fair.
I do full glam.
Yeah.
Totally fair to listen to a podcast in the car.
I glisten.
On your work commute.
You can see me slowly shrivel. My shoulders get closer together as I like shrink. It's nice.
Watch us. Give us a sub.
Watch us.
And as always, tune in next week on
Demoted.
Demoted.